Hey, how you doing, strangers? Well, it's not because of you. It's because of me. I'm just too lazy. But check this out. Look at the weather we got going here, man. It went from winter to summer. It was like 40 degrees or 42 degrees at night and like 55 and rain every day. And now suddenly we got like 80 degrees, goes down to about 60 or something at night, and it's dry and just awesome. Awesome. So, what do you do? Last weekend, I flew down to Vegas and spent the weekend in Vegas. That's where my goddess set up home for herself and for us. So, in the future, I'll be moving there. And so, we're working on that. What else? Oh, it's empty. Look at that. Such a drag. Yeah. I've had a primary leak for 2 years now, okay? And last year I actually took it apart and then found I needed like a Torx 78 or something like that for the compensators. Oh shit. So I put it back together again. I ordered the socket, got the socket, and that was it. In the winter time it's like, oh, it's too cold to be out in the carport for 10 hours, you know? And then on the nice days it's like, oh, it's too nice to be in the carport for 10 hours. So it hasn't been getting done. But about the first week of August, something like that, I'm heading down to Phoenix. I'm going to spend a couple nights in Phoenix with a friend there, and then come back up to Vegas and spend a week in Vegas. So we got a long ride. It's about, I don't know, 1,500 miles or something. 26 hours. I'm going the back way. Okay, I could go straight down the I-5 to LA, head over to Phoenix. I could do it in a couple days, but do I want to do like 12 hours a day, 80 miles an hour? Not, no, not really. So I'm going to go, and then I could also go through Vegas and down, but I don't want to pass by Vegas and go right past the love of my life and not stop. And she's probably going to be away that weekend anyway. So anyway, I'm going to bypass it. I'm going to go through Salt Lake City and I'm going to go down around the back way and come into Phoenix from the north. 26 hours on Google Maps from here. So I'm going to take 3 days. I'm going to stop and smell the roses, take some videos and shit like that. And so anyway, because of that trip, I took my bike to a mechanic. And he's got good reviews and shit. I gave him all the parts because I have all the parts. I got the bearing, new bearing, and I got a new seal for the shifter for the transmission where it goes in and all that. So gave him the oil, all that stuff. So he's going to do it. And my starter's been acting up ever since I had the bike, actually. Only when it's hot. So if I shut the bike off when the engine's full temperature, I shut the bike off, go to start it like 2 minutes later, and it makes this weird grinding noise, kind of. And how you doing? And but when it's cold, it doesn't. So I thought, not a big deal, whatever. And I mentioned it to the mechanic, and he said, "Oh yeah, that's the starter clutch." He said, "I got 5 of them up on the shelf." He said it happens a lot, So a long trip like that, I don't want to have problems. So I said, "Listen, fix that too, okay?" And then check the drive belt out really good, because if that needs replaced and you got the primary all apart laying on the floor, now's the time to do it, right? So we're going to get all that checked out. This is Sunday, so I should get it back by Thursday evening. And Friday's a holiday here, so we got a long weekend coming up. So anyway, I've got a month to ride around and make sure everything's good. No leaks and shit. And then we're heading down the road. And I'm just bringing a tent. I'm going to tent it side of the road or whatever, wherever I can. I mean, it's just for sleeping, right? But if I see some nice sights, I want to be able to pull over and take some pictures and enjoy the scenery and make it a decent trip. So that's coming up. So we'll have a few videos of that, I guess, coming up. And hopefully there's no weird shit happens. Anyway, we'll find out. So I hope you all are having a good time. I'm looking forward to getting down in the desert and some 100-degree temperatures and shit like that. Because, man, it's just the West Coast this year has just been cold and wet and it just never stops. And like with last weekend in Vegas, it was like 90 something every day, and I didn't feel hot. You know, we don't have aircon in the apartment, or at least we didn't have it on. And it was comfortable at night for sleeping. You know, it was good. I like it. So I'm looking forward to this trip. I've gone to Phoenix once. I flew down, but I've never driven all the way down there. I used to do bus tours to Reno all the time. You know, week-long trips to Reno, stay there with the people for a week and bring them back up here. And I used to do that 2 or 3 times a year, or 2 or 3 times a month, I should say. So I'm familiar with driving like that way. But yeah, anyway, it's going to be a good adventure. So stay tuned for that. And I hope everybody out there is good. Be safe, and we'll talk to you soon.